Okay, welcome. This is Michael at Wickerson Studios. I'm busy on a few projects, but thought I'd jump into Grasshopper 2. And for those that have realized that this is here since April 1st, and the videos that are starting to come out from all the giants that know what to do with this stuff, I thought I may as well give my hand at it. And I know some people like to watch how I kind of hammer away or bang my head into the wall with a few things. Anyhow, I'll leave it up to you to jump into the forums, Grasshopper 2, and learn to download it. It's not too hard. The only trick is when you want to load it, just load it with G2, not G2, and hit enter, and your window will open. And you can see that you get nothing that you had before, which is pretty amazing. But what shall we do? We should jump into params and see what we have and what we can do with them. So I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to grab an integer. I can imagine that's going to be a container. A little warning here says it has nothing. I can only assume all the containers, number, boolean, angles, blah, 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 blah. Pretty interesting little random. A few different containers, states, times, distribution sounds kind of fun. Geometric, you can jump in here and grab everything from the points, but if you know me, that I realize that if there's a point you're using, you may as well use anything geometry based, from line, curves, circles, and just stick with something as simple as the geometry container, which doesn't exist anymore. So we have to pick our mesh, and we have to pick our boundary representation. Oh boy, lots of little tiny different things. Graphs, tubes, surfaces, I guess that would be a boundary representation. Pretty interesting stuff, but if you know me, I don't really deal in any containers when working in Grasshopper, so I'll probably not bother with any of that until I have to view something. I like to transform here. I don't know. I'll just kind of get imaginative and see if I missed anything. As for inputs, there's your good old slider. It looks pretty nice and slazzy. Text input seems pretty nice. I have to wonder if I type in here and type I get a little T. I'm not sure what happens. What was that? Yeah, it's text. And I have to wonder if any of those shortcuts worked. Anyway, it's a nice little notepad paper with your little margin line like you're in grade 3 again. Okay. Preset picker value number line protractor. I like that. Ooh, that's very nice. That's going to come in handy for making some things. Okay, so we will play around a little bit with this. This color swatch, good old color swatch. Display material, nice little dodecahedrons and things like that. I like the geometry. I think that's going to be fun. Function editor looks pretty good, like a graph mapper, and I was just showing examples of that. I have to wonder if I double tap, if I can reset the domains on this. I don't know. Pretty interesting. Constant picker, gradient editor. Looks like it was producing some pretty cool shader values and geometries. And certainly some new stuff going on there. Data, blah, blah, blah. Generic text, identifier language, paths, tuples. Ooh, tuples. All right. Well, we'll see what happens when we pull in stuff like that. I think I'll kind of leave it blank. In utilities, wonderful panel tool. I kind of missed the yellow already. Quick graphs, relay, data from file, data to file. Okay. All right. They look kind of like they could be kind of fun. Zoom in this component to add more parameters. Zoom in on this component to add more parameters. All right. All right. And then the read data to file. Okay. A little bit of instructions that I'm not even bothering to read, but there we go. We've gotten through the params. I feel pretty good. I don't feel totally lost. I feel good about myself. Now, what do we have here? Basic addition and multiplication, which means I don't really need the division or subtraction. I'll just work off of negatives, absolute, exponential, factorial, cross product, dot product, qualities. Okay, so they got it down in round decimals. So that's kind of nice. Double click this parameter to set multiple values. Ooh. All right. I'm double clicking to set multiple values. All right. In and out, I'll have to figure it out. I know I'm not doing too much. Functions, cosine, sine, block wave from arguments, tooth, sawtooth, sine from arguments. Oh boy, all these wonderful little tiny things that I don't know anything about. I should have paid more attention in math class. Well, I should be pretty good with parabola arguments, hyperbola arguments. Now, for those that actually are into stuff like this, I would recommend going and getting the Dominion plugin that Daniel Kristev and I put together, because then you have all of your conic solvers, which can be fun. And I think I produced some pretty cool icons like this. Actually, I think I produced icons very close to that. Anyway, give myself a little toot my own horn a little bit, and certainly the C work in Visual Studio, Daniel Kristev. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Limit function, absolute function, function chain. Okay, this is reminding me of why I left math in third year. Function derivatives could be very good. And function integrals. That is going to make life beautiful. I'm sick of typing in a bunch of math. I was typing in all these little notes in comments, trying to do some functions in a calculus series I was doing. Okay, so there's some room, and I have to wonder if I can even group. No, can't group that way anymore, so that's all gone. Nothing on the middle scroll key. That is going to be an area of total and utter exploration. Thank you very much for the maths. Definitely think that's where the computation can be driven back into Grasshopper. Okay, so sequence, I imagine we're going to get some ranges and some series, so there's no need to have to. I like the little note, because you get your -1, and you've got your range for limits, range from steps. Pretty cool. Nice little icon, little, I guess there's a bear or a toeless or a thumbless creature trying to build this range. Nice when you zoom in, so it zooms out, becomes something else, and then you zoom in and you get your function. Very nice. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. I really like that. All right. My notes just comments and my say range from expressions. Very cool. Trigonometry is going to be just as awesome, I imagine. Oh my gosh, it's like getting a scientific calculator. Fantastic. I'm sold. I'm absolutely sold. Wow. Oh boy. Okay. I think that's going to be too much to just start pulling out and playing with, but it seems like the mathies have come into the picture here, and I'm really excited to see it. So I'm just going to leave that as trig and just say that's like going to be a wonderful section. I'm just going to grab the 4 most common components. I have to wonder if I go up to view and I can look at obscure components. Nope, but I'm going to go to dark mode because that looks kind of fun, and I like this little bubble that just flew out at me for some reason. I went to nighttime. Very happy with the dark mode. Loving it. Cosine, fantastic. And sine, this is perfect. I think this is going to be great. Random, wow. All right, enough ways to do random to get going on your points and start to generate some scripts. Looks like the math has just jumped into steroids, and by golly, holy manola. I don't even know what to say about Lulu. Looks like I've got to, I should have stayed in math class a little bit more, but this is going to be fun to figure out. Um, who is Grasshopper 2 for? I think it's for Daniel Kristev. I think it's fantastic. So I'm going to just make this longer because I'm not going to build any geometries. I'm loving what I'm seeing here, going through the maths and looking into the nodes and thinking about what the possibilities are. I'm not going to try and make some sense of it computationally. I'm just going to take a look at what we have. Wonderful. These are all brought in. They have some pretty cool icons, pretty slick. And I think I was on the right track building icons that that resemble things like this, the visualization of what you're doing with points on curves. Because that's really what I think it's all about, is driving points and then creating the curves to then do the surfaces and then do the solids. Fantastic. I like the special in complex numbers, which I'll probably never go back into, but possibly if you're interested in the, what is it, 3 brown, 1 blue. They seem to love complex and love the trigonometry. So complex polar, wow. How do you know what all these are called? I guess you scroll in, see them, scroll out, it becomes something else. So you memorize the icons until you need more data. Well, this definitely looks like a Matthews haven. I'm going to grab all those. I don't even know if I can. There we go. I'm going to put them over here and say that math is where it's at. Data is something totally different. Data, oh boy. So you're getting into calling, meta from index, order. Hopefully that'll play into some really cool ordering of numbers and ordering by a list of intrinsic sorting orders. That's pretty cool. Sort by text. Oh boy, no, I'm going to leave that off. There is a ton of stuff in here. And what I like is it's moved back away from all of this, the importance of math, data. It looks like text is going to do things for you. Vectors should be just as jazzy as it was, even though it's got a spread and it's got some intervals. Looks like it might. Oh, this is so much. There's no way I'm going to cover this in 10 minutes or 20 minutes just to even get through it. But hopefully you get everything you need from maths, data, text, and vectors, and then you can get into your curves and I imagine your analysis. So these are the conics. That's pretty nice. So much for the Dominion. Freeform, fragment. So dividing, fragment, divide by distance, analysis. So that usually was analysis and division, and then into curves and primitives. Let's see if it's the same here. Yeah, primitives first, freeform, and then the analysis of those. Oh, this is going to be wonderful. And then meshes, obviously it doesn't have the Weaver bird, but possibly that's got a lot of things in here. This is absolutely amazing. Ah, Hito Masashi pattern. What? Oh boy, there's some tough little algorithms in here. I'm glad I didn't write them. Very impressive. I'm going to have to start watching the other tutorials to get some ideas, but I might just get lost in the maths and just play with the maths through vectors and see what I can end up doing. It looks like the transforms, basic transforms, affines, linear transforms. What is that? IJK. Oh boy, quaternions. I've heard that a few times, but I've never even wanted to figure out what that is. And utilities, transforms, and no morphing and slowed down scripts. Like maybe they're going to move pretty fast. And display, same type of stuff. Colors, gradients. I think I saw some pretty nice patterns. Anyway, I'm not even going to start to begin. That's my little blurb and my take. Thinking about this and my basic feelings, I'm sold completely. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun in here and start playing off of driving geometries long before needing a curve, a surface, a mesh, or a transform. Looks like it's all here for you, and it's been like I've heard it time and time again, bring the computational into the computational work. And hopefully with this you start driving your designs from data and seeing where that goes. Well, thanks for watching 12 minutes. I will only play in Grasshopper 2 for a while I work on my large casting projects. Thanks for watching.